What was the... Oh, Makebi Zulu. Oh, Makebi. Do you know Makebi? Lately, Makebi's been boiling my blood. Homeboy has been chapping my hide. The brother has been yanking my chain, ruffling my feathers. You know why? The other day, did you guys hear this story that Makebi was at the KK International Airport and he was about to depart for South Africa? And then there was this harebrained, tepid story that came out on the internet. Good to know, Makebi Zulu has been stopped from traveling. And Makebi says that the only person that can give him way to travel is the president. Did you remember that story? What can I tell you? That story was fake. Makebi Zulu and his homeboys just made the whole thing up. Do you know that Makebi Zulu actually traveled that same day? He left. Because Makebi Zulu said, no, we are being stopped at KK International Airport. We want to travel. They're telling us we can't go. They're saying only President Hakainde Hichilema is the one who can allow us to fly off. Well, Makebi flew off. So you're telling me that HH called the airport and said, oh, guys, let him go. Absolute nonsense. It's absolute, it didn't happen. You know, these opposition leaders, listen, I'm fine with opposition politics, but I'm not fine with opposition fabrication. Don't fabricate for the sake of fabricating. Do not fabricate for political expedience. Don't fabricate for political empathy. Because all we heard was the first part of that story, which was fake as hell. Makebi Zulu and his homeboys they fabricated, they apparitioned the whole thing. They burst out the gate and said, oh, we're at the airport, we're at the counter. And then did you see this? There were a couple of photographs that were sent, that were posted on social media. What did you see on the photograph? All you saw was Makebi Zulu wearing a pair of Under Armour sneakers. You know, Under Armour is the logo, is the brand, Under Armour. Makebi Zulu wearing a pair of black and white Under Armour branded sneakers, a pair of blue jeans, a black t-shirt and a black cap, wearing specs, standing at the counter at the airport. That's all you saw, but the caption was, we are here, we're being stopped from traveling. Did you see that in that picture? Or was there a video that showed someone saying to Makebi, you can't go because the president has stopped you and the only person who can give you way is the president? Total nonsense. Total opposition fabrication for the sake of fabrication. Did you know that Makebi traveled anyway? So you're saying to me, HH actually called and said, oh, allow Makebi to go through. HH phoned the airport. Is that what you think? Is that how you think the presidency works? You must be daft if you think that. No such thing happened. You know why? Because Makebi Zulu is lying through his teeth and the truth is not in him. The joker. He traveled, he's there. Does Makebi Zulu tell you that he traveled? When was the last time Makebi posted that, oh, actually we traveled, we left? He's gone, he left. And then can we go to Brian Mundubile, who's in a heap of trouble, I must tell you. I mean, what's his name? Chishimba Kambwili's mouth has done Makebi Zulu in, has done Mundubile in. Let me say it again because I think that's important. Chishimba Kambwili's loose cannon political regurgitating mouth has done Mundubile in. You remember? Kambwili, there's an audio that's been released. Well, it was released some time ago, where Chishimba Kambwili says, I tell you, there is nothing worse than a politician snitch. Nothing worse than that. I just realized something. As soon as I said that, a bunch of you are going to say, well, Simon, you're a snitch. Yeah, but my brand of snitching is a bit different. It's for the good of the country. That's what it is. There, I said it. Okay? It's for the country comes first. Right? There is nothing worse than an opposition political party snitch, which is what Chishimba Kambwili is. I mean, Chishimba Kambwili, bless him, I love him, but he is a bit of a snitch, to be honest. So Chishimba Kambwili is famously on a tape saying, no, Mundubile, before we know those contracts, you were paid 1.2 billion. I'm a billions, and all that nonsense. Well, the ACC didn't take kindly to that, so they went ahead and they launched an investigation. Now, that investigation has a paper trail, and that paper trail is not just going to disappear. Can we be clear about that? Just say that in the comments for me. Could you say that in the comments below? Just say that paper trail is not going to just disappear. Okay? This is a pen. It is not a magic wand. Nobody is going to wield a wand and that accusation, poof, disappears. The Anti-Corruption Commission are going to take that to the zenith. They're going to take it to the apex, mate. They're going to take it, they're going to go wherever the evidence leads them. Therein lies the conundrum. So when Brian Mundubile showboats, when he stands in front of PF supporters and he says, "Iwa kainde iwa boy, shiriyo mwensaine, ina shakwate chintinya, ina ndimo mesana. Don't we record para ukuchite deceive. Ifo tuli bantu sana ifwe. Tuli bachave, tuli ba mu street. Ifo ni holo. Iwa kainde iwe, ulayei. Hey! Ulayei. Kawawawa. Mwe mashido mwe. No chaps. ACC will take you to task. Why? Because there are questions that need answers. Simple. Hagainde Ichiduma has got nothing to do with that nonsense. Mwebene, PF are the only people that are political cannibals. Can we agree with that? Are we saying that? Are we doing that? Can we say that? Just say that in the comments. Just type that. The Patriotic Front are the only political cannibals we have in this. They literally eat their own. Political cannibals, those chaps. They consume each other in broad daylight, in real time. 4K, those chaps. There's Kambwili cannibalizing Mundubile. Kutiwe Mundubile, we know. So because of those words, Mundubile now is in problems, as we say in Zambia. In Zambia we say problems. We don't say problems, we say problems. He's in problems. Those are problems. Now you remember Chishimba Kambwili himself went to prison at the behest of Chilufya Tayali. Do you remember that? Kambwili went to prison because of words that were uttered by Chilufya Tayali. In the same vein, by the same token, Mundubile is going to be investigated, and if this paper trail leads to anywhere close to any type of penitentiary, it is to go, they have said. Did I ever share with you that is the direct translation of Kuyabebele? In English, it's to go, they've said. Did you guys know this? Yeah. Well, what disappoints me about Mundubile is that he has uttered some retrogressive, god-awful horror story statements that I cannot allow to slip and slide. Mundubile says, I'm going to govern, I'm going to rule, and I hate that word. Ngapani bawe dawe na patani rule. But if we are not chickens, if we are turing kokweyo, te chitere chankoko chino, mwari chite mwe chisere chakuti we are going to rule. This is not a monarchy. Let's be clear. Zambia is not a totalitarian state. We do not have kings. We don't have emperors. We don't have sultans that rule over us. What we do have, and you should be sitting down for this, is that we have a democratic system that elects officials that serve. Oh, that's a good one. You know, the PF can never use that word serve. You know, when the PF tried to use the word serve, it's like they're chewing sour grapes. It's like they're chewing lemons. They simply cannot say the word serve. Totalitarianism. We're going to rule. Pipe down. Hello. Chilishan. That is the style of governance the PF are accustomed to. So for them, ruling is about an iron-fisted approach. It's got nothing to do with serving the people, serving the country. It's about ruling. Brian Mundubile says, I'm going to rule the same way that Edgar Lungu ruled. I'm going to bring back PF's brand of caderism. I'm going to bring back brutality, archaic dispositions. I'm going to rain down on you, fall on you like a ton of bricks. And once we regain the reins of power of this country, we shall never release it. In Zambia we say release. We don't say release, we say release. We shall never release the reins of power once we come back. You think we were bad before, you wait till you re-elect us. The wheels are gonna fall off the wagon, boy. Tell you what. Not a chance. We would rather die than have you jokers back in office. It'll never happen. Read my lips. It will never happen. Honestly. And that's the truth. That's not a falsified confession. That, mate, is reality. You should say something. You know why? Because it's real. It's real, yeah. Right, primitive Kisasa. 12 people have been formally charged with murder. 22 people in primitive Kisasa have been charged with riotous behavior. Can we get a little commotion for Kisasa? Can we do that? Can we give primitive Kisasa a standing ovation? Can we do that? Let's do that. Can we do that? Right. 22 people in Kisasa have been charged with riotous behavior. 12 people have been charged with murder, as it should be. You guys remember the story. An innocent woman minding her own business was falsely accused by a young man by the name of Prince. He says, my genitalia has disappeared because of this woman here. She must be a witch. The primitive people of Kisasa rose like rabid dogs, and they murdered an innocent woman. They stripped her of her dignity. They stripped her of her womanhood. They stripped her of her humanity. And they brutally killed her in the middle of the street in broad daylight. And then you get offended when we call you primitive. You are the epitome of primitive. You are the personification of primitive. You are the embodiment of primitive. The people of Kisasa. We ought to put a line through your name instead of under it. I'll tell you right now, boy. Tell you right now, we should call Trump on your butts. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should just probably erase you jokers. This massive arrest, this massive murder charge has to send a strong message. It cannot be business as usual. It cannot be blasé. It cannot be patty cake, baker man. It cannot be tiptoeing through the tulips. It cannot be standing in line holding hands singing Kumbaya. It has to be different. The message has to be heavy, final, catastrophic. We have to send a strong message to anyone that peddles this foolishness. You know, the other day, some chick calls me. Some young girl calls me out of the blue. I don't know who these people are. They just call me. And she calls me, she says, Mr. Mwewa. I said, yes. I just want to tell you what you are saying about Kisasa. You know witchcraft is real. Those things, Mr. Mwewa, they happen. Click. I put a line through that girl's name instead of putting a line under it. Don't entertain such nonsense. This is the reason the next mayor of this city must launch Blitzkrieg. Where's the phone? All right. The next mayor of Lusaka must launch Blitzkrieg. You know Blitzkrieg? Tell me in the comments if you know Blitzkrieg. The next mayor of Lusaka must launch a sustained, massive attack on these scammers that call themselves witch doctors. Massive attack. Remove and charge them. Remove their banners. Charge them. Fine them. Make them pay. Because these are the people that are peddling, that are convincing the masses that such nonsense exists. These are the same people that are convincing you that someone has the ability to touch you and your genitalia disappears. Every single person that has ever claimed that, the contrary has been proved. They've taken them to the police. They've unrobed them. They've looked between their thighs. They've seen that katundut's there. Insignificant, but there. Infinitesimal, but intact. Minuscule, but intact. Diseased, but intact. Infected, but there. Poor penna. Anyway, I thought I'd share those points with you. Thanks for listening. How long have we been on here? Good grief. I think that's one of the longest times I've ever spoken. A few comments. I'll read a couple of comments. You know, ule tuma phone nga yapu tukati means I'm busy. Nobody know. But tuma fe chile fe tin 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 tin. We mwana sengero loko tuli pa live. All right. Moses says P.F. Cuttis thinks ECL was good. No, he was not. Indeed. You know, the reason P.F. liked Balungu is because they took advantage of him. They hamstrung him. They treated him like a puppet. He had the power, but he didn't have the gumption. He had the power, he had the constitutional power, but he didn't have that self-asserting grit. He didn't have that. He was malleable. He was easily manipulated, and that's why they loved him. You know? Anyway. Right. All right, gotta go.